She was at the bottom of an abandoned foxhole. 4 pounds, matted fur, eyes too big for her face. The jungle around her was one of the most dangerous places on Earth. She didn't look like she belonged there. Neither did Bill. His name was Bill Wynn, 24 years old, United States Army Air Forces, New Guinea, 1944. He'd been in the Pacific for 8 months. He'd seen things he wouldn't talk about for the rest of his life. He climbed down into that foxhole anyway, picked her up, felt her heartbeat against his palm, fast, frantic, but there, he named her Smokey. Started sharing his rations. His bunkmates thought he'd lost his mind. Then came the pipe. The airfield at Luzon needed communication lines run underground. The drainage pipe was 8 inches wide, 60 feet long. Pitch dark inside. Digging the route out manually meant 3 days of work in open terrain. 3 days of exposure. Every hour of that work was an hour under potential enemy fire. The engineers were trying to figure out the math. Bill had a different idea. He tied the wire to Smokey's collar, crouched at one end of the pipe, called her name. Smokey went in. The pipe was black, cramped, no room to turn around. 60 feet of darkness between her and the sound of his voice. She came out the other side in minutes, wire intact, lines connected. 3 days of dangerous work done in 4 minutes. The engineers stood there in silence. Bill picked her up. She licked his face like it was nothing. Word spread the way things spread in wartime. A sergeant heard about the dog. Asked Bill if he'd bring her to the field hospital. Bill said yes. What he saw there, he also never forgot. Wards full of men who had come back from places they couldn't describe. Men who had lost limbs, lost friends. Men who had stopped speaking. Not from injury, from everything they'd seen. Smokey jumped onto the first bed. The soldier looked at her. She licked his face. He made a sound, a laugh, small, surprised, like he'd forgotten he still could. The doctors noticed, started requesting her every day, ward to ward, bed to bed. 4 pounds of Yorkshire Terrier moving through rooms that hadn't heard laughter in months. She didn't fix anything. She couldn't fix what those men had been through. But she gave them something the medicine couldn't. A reason to be present. A small, warm thing that needed nothing from them except to be held. The doctors started documenting it. What they were seeing wasn't random. It was consistent. Men who had shut down, responding. Men who wouldn't speak, speaking. To a dog. They didn't have a name for it yet. What Smokey was doing in those wards in 1944 would eventually be called animal-assisted therapy. She was the first. A 4-pound dog from an abandoned foxhole in the jungles of New Guinea. The first therapy dog in recorded history. Bill brought Smokey home after the war. She lived to be 14, traveled with him, performed tricks, was written about in newspapers. Bill talked about her for the rest of his life. Not about the pipe, not about the wire, about the hospital, about the men who laughed. He said once in an interview that he never understood why it worked, why something so small could reach people that far gone. He thought about it for years. Eventually, he stopped trying to explain it. Some things, he said, you just have to witness and feel grateful you were there.